My name is TJ Manglona. I am 31 years old. I was born in Martinez, California, raised in the beautiful island of Saipan in the Marianas. I'm an NMC alumni. I got my associate's degree in business. After that, I started a local lifestyle company called Tri Marianas, and I am currently a representative for Precinct 5 for the seat of my legislature. And I DJ on my free time. First of all, I want to say thank you to Palm Trio for reaching out. I know I put a message out on social media saying that I kind of wanted to share my experience because I recently lost my 3-year-old daughter. And as devastating as everything is, or as everything that I've been through is, one of the main messages I've learned was that life is too short and we need to spread more love and light in this world. As devastating as that experience was, I was able to gain this beautiful message from my daughter, and that's sort of the message that I wanted to spread and definitely get into more depth with today. My daughter, her name is Tamia, just Tamia. She was such a radiant soul. You know, everybody says that about their kids. And of course, children are just pure and, you know, they're full of love and light. But you can ask anybody in my family or, you know, anybody that kind of came in contact with her. She was a little bit different. For whatever reason, she was very advanced for her age. Of course, as a father, as a parent, you know, your job is to teach your kids and to show them the ways of life. But my daughter, it just came naturally with a lot of stuff. A lot of times I'd be freaking out that she would know certain things or be saying certain words or be asking about, you know, I think a lot of it too is blippy. We, you know, sometimes we'd be passing around here in Garapan and she'd look at it and it's like, Daddy, there's the crane, you know, like, it's like, how do you know what's a crane and how do you know what's an excavator, you know, like, she was very smart. But beyond that, everywhere we went and every person that came in contact with her could feel that love and light from her. And I can't explain it. We would go different places. We would go to anywhere we go to, whether it's the restaurant, the store, you know, people would just gravitate toward her. They would just have a reaction, you know, they would just, whether it was like a oh or wow, you know, she's so beautiful or she's so pretty or she's so cute, you know, like she just had this energy about her that just was pure. It was pure. And with me, she honestly showed me the meaning of true unconditional love. I don't know if I ever experienced it again. And I've only been a parent once. She was my only daughter. But if there's one thing that she showed me and she taught me, it was really pure unconditional love. She loved me no matter how I looked, no matter how I smelled, no matter what I did, you know, it was just pure. And I could just, she was like my best friend, you know, like she was everything. And she was my family. It was me and her, and, you know, I've been co-parenting with her mother, but when it comes down to it, it was me and her, you know. So of course it was definitely a devastating experience to have to go through. But if I could describe my daughter, it'd be love and light, pure, unconditional love.
What do you guys enjoy doing together?
Man, we love to eat. I'm solo, right? You know, so I don't, you know, you cook at the house and by the time you're done cooking, it's like, you know, you don't even want to eat the food and it's just me and her. So a lot of times we would go out to the different restaurants. So what's crazy, and as we get into more depth, what I understand now, it's like, you know, the days leading up to her death, we were doing it all. It was weird. It's kind of like subconsciously we both knew that we had to enjoy the moment, right? So we were hitting all different kinds of restaurants every day. Like and you know, usually we go to the normal spots that I know, but for whatever reason, the last 2 weeks we were trying a bunch of different places, and you know, she was getting to try different food, and you know, really it was the simple things: eating, just being at home, her watching, you know, her favorite shows, and you know, just us being together and playing with her toys. You know, my daughter really didn't require much, and it was really those simple things that you get to learn that really matter the most, especially with your loved ones. You know, things don't have to be grand or fancy. Really, it's those moments that you share with them that are like gold, you know. And those are the things that we used to love to do. And she was a jokester too, so she would love to clown around with me. One of the things she started to do was she started taking a booger and wipe it on my nose, on my face, and just laugh at me, or she'd just make me smell her feet, you know, like weird things like that. Like, you know, that she loved to laugh and she loved to joke around. And yeah, asked my family too. Like, she's a little jokester too. So always bringing us love and joy and happiness. Yeah.
What was a hard lesson that you tried to teach her?
You know, she just turned 3, so we're finally kind of in a stage where we can kind of communicate, you know, where she can understand me. So, man, you know, and I'm pretty sure every parent goes through it. Everywhere you go, your child's gonna want something, you know what I mean? And I try to be super dad, you know. I try to get her something at almost every stop that we go, you know, like whether it's a little. My daughter really didn't require much. Sometimes it's just a lollipop. Sometimes it's a little trinket at the store. But, you know, there were times where I had to tell her, like, Mimi, I'm giving you everything. I can't give you everything, you know? Like, there's got to be, you know, some sort of limit. But I know for the most part, you know, I tried to do the best as I could as a father. And I know we all do as our parents. You know, we have a weak spot, especially when it comes to a father and their daughter, you know? But yeah, I think that was probably one of the harder lessons that I had to, you know, sometimes I had to say, like, you know, my girl, I can't get you everything, you know. Even though I could, you know, maybe I could, but, you know, I just had to find where that balance was just so she could understand that part, you know. And it still was hard as a parent, you know. I think it was harder for me than it was for her.
Is there anything you regret not talking to her about?
No. I truly feel like, you know, everything is written. There are no mistakes. There's no, like, everything is in God's plan, right? Everything is already pretty much written. So on that part, I don't feel any guilt because I know I did everything with my daughter. I took every picture. I showed her as much love as I could, you know, and I put her first. You know, even as a public servant, you know, like, sometimes you're expected to put your community and the people first, but for me, I truly felt like if I don't put her first, my family and myself first, then I cannot take care of the people. You need to start from within. You need to make sure you're good to take care of others. So for me, taking care of her, putting her first, you know, I have no regrets because I did everything. You know, we went to Disneyland and, like, we went to the zoo. She got to see San Francisco. She got to see Los Angeles. Like, she did more than some adults, you know. So, and every step of the way, whether it was something simple as us going to the beach or sometimes just even at the house, like, I took pictures. I took videos. And every chance that I got, I told her that I loved her. So, I have no regrets because till her end, I was there, you know. And I know that I did everything I could, even as a father. Of course, you feel like, man, you know, like, you give up the world, you know, to trade places with her. But I know deep down that I did everything that I could to her last breath. You know, I did everything that I could, so I don't regret anything at all.
What's your proudest moment of her?
Man, just being her dad. You know, I was just so proud to be her dad and to experience her. I mean, maybe if I can choose one particular moment that stands out was, okay, so, you know, bringing your child to the daycare sometimes is hard, you know, like, even me, you know, like, I didn't want to put her in daycare first, but I understood, you know, this was the only choice we had. And it was hard at first. She would cry every morning when we would drop her to the daycare. It was like that for a while. And even though every after school I pick her up, she's happy, for whatever reason in the morning, you know, she would cry. But she made friends, and it finally came time where, you know, you move from the younger grade to the upper grade, right? When we got back from the States, that was time for her to transition to the older kids. You know, the teachers were like, hey, you know, can you go get her, you know, a school bag and a lunchbox, because, you know, we want to treat it like school. So, you know, I told her that day, hey, okay, baby, let's go. We're going to go get you a school bag and a lunchbox. And, you know, I took her to Joten. She chose the school box and, you know, I'm in the school bag and the lunchbox. And then that morning she was just so excited to go to school just because she had her backpack and her lunchbox. And for the first time, she was like, she was ready, like no cries, no nothing. I took a picture of her outside, and she was just so excited. And then I think the next day when I dropped her off for the first time, she was like, "Okay, Daddy, I'll see you after work." I was like, "Oh, really?" Like that's how excited she was to go to school. And I think it was just that little thing, just having her lunchbox. And she was talking about, because I wrote her name on it and everything. And she was talking about having her name on it. And it's just that, I think, that little moment where I was just so proud that even though she's not even like in kindergarten, she was so ready to go to school. And I was like, wow, you're growing up so too quick, so I think that'd probably be like my proudest moment with her. Yeah.
Do you have like a specific favorite memory with her?
Not really specific, but just maybe the times that she would tell me that she loved me out of the blue, like that. Like you can't, no other feeling in the world that can replace that, like. And I'm so glad that I even just posted up earlier today, like, her telling me that she loved me. And I caught it right before, like, it's random. You can't just, have your camera on all the time. But I caught it before when she said it. And I asked her again. I had the camera on again. And she didn't know the camera was on, but I just asked her again. I was like, what did you say? What did you say? And, she joked around at first, but then she's like, Daddy, I love you. And, like, man, those moments, like, they're worth more than anything in the world. For them to say that out of their heart. You didn't have to force them. You didn't have to tell them to say it. Just those I love yous and the good mornings and the good nights. Like those are really special.
What is something you do now that reminds you of her?
And, it's hard because there's a lot that reminds me of her. I think that's one of the hardest things. Going around, whether it's the store and you see something, one of her favorite like characters, or maybe it's something that she liked to eat or drink, or it's all around. It's all around because everything that we did together. But some people it hurts them, but for me, I like to remember her because it makes me feel warm. It makes me feel like she's still there. And like, even at the house, like, I have a big picture of her. And some people, maybe it'd be hard for them to see that every day, but for me, it's like kind of a reminder that she's always there. And every day there's something different, whether it's a song or you hear something, and those are the times that kind of trigger when I miss her the most. But again, I see it as something positive because I don't want to forget about her. I want to be reminded of her. I want to make sure every day, and I visit her every day, at the cemetery, and I want to make sure that, whether she's here or not, that I still have that obligation as a father to honor her memory.
What's the most important lesson you've learned as a single parent?
Well, I guess just to clarify, because I have so much love for her mom. And it just didn't work out for us. Her mom was a great mom, and I kind of don't want to use the word single parent because she was still present in her life. It's just that we weren't together. But if you want to talk about the times that it was just me and her, of course it had its challenges. It's always nice to have somebody to help you out. And for me, I was thankful that my mom and my grandma would come. They weren't there all the time, but they were there for most of the time to help me out with her. And just having family around definitely helps. But when you're solo, it's like, especially as a man, like trying to raise a daughter, there was, like simple things like tying her hair. I've never tied hair before. So like for me, it was like those were like the wins for me when I could like figure out how to tie her hair. Even the I made this janky ass braid, but I was so proud of it because I was like, finally, my mom been trying to teach me, and I was like, finally I figured out how to do this. At least I can get her hair out of her face, And it's so funny because as janky as the braid was, I remember I dropped her off to spend time with her mom's family and her grandma. And, they told me later on that, you know, she was proud of it. Like, she's, oh, my daddy braided my hair. I was like, I would have never known that. I wouldn't even think she's paying attention. You know, she's always busy, you know, playing or watching a show. I didn't think she was paying attention to me braiding her hair. But, you know, those little things for me, it was just like, wow, you know, like as a father, as a man, you know, it's hard to do those things, you know, but when you have a daughter, it softens you, you know, and like, I wasn't, you know, there's times where she'd be putting makeup on my face, you know, like, you know, and I just embrace it. I just embrace it because if it's for my daughter, then, you know, it's not a problem at all, you know. So I think that was kind of the hardest part, learning how to take care of a female when I have a younger sister, but, you know, obviously it's the first time I'm a parent, you know, in general, and a female too, just learning those little different things that you know, that females require more sensitivity and more patience, you know. I lost my daughter. I lost my only child. I lost her at 3 years old. And, you know, and she was my world. And a loss in general of anybody that you love is heartbreaking. But to experience a loss of this magnitude, like, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. And if I didn't have the teachings and the faith that I had previous, then I'd probably not be here right now. You know, being able to talk to you about this and, you know, trying to carry on a daily basis. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for our faith. I'm thankful for the things that I've learned growing up, and most especially I'm thankful for my mom, who we always talk about spirituality, right? And one of the things that we've always wanted answers for, right, is why are we here on earth and what happens afterwards? I think that's like the number one question that we have. And thankfully, leading up to this point, you know, we've done a lot of research, I guess, and of all these different people that I've studied from on YouTube, and they have books, there's YouTube. None of them are really connected, but they all say the same thing, that this physical body is temporary and our spirit is what lives forever. So even though I know on the outside looking in, I should be crashing, my world should be crashing, I truly understand that my daughter is forever, just like all of us are. And through all the teachings that I've learned, basically understanding that, yes, when people say it's God's plan, we all have our own journey here, no matter how long or short. Death is something that we cannot control. As much as I wanted to control my daughter's death and bring her back, I could not as a father. So I had to accept that this is what was written. And it is. Everything that we experience, hardships or things that make us happy, they're all meant to teach us lessons. And for me, the biggest lesson that I took out of this was, yes, like, it's true that we're only here for a short amount of time. And we need to spend more time, the time that we do have on this earth, spreading love, enjoying the time with the ones that we love, not holding on to hate and animosity. Because love and forgiveness and light is the way. And we'll realize that when we're on the other side, but sometimes when we're stuck in this earth, we let our emotions, and it's natural, you know, for us to feel negativity on this earth. But I was given, I guess, the final gift from my daughter to be able to, for her to communicate with me spiritually. And again, there's nothing I can do to prove it or There's no science I can say to prove it, or there's no hardcore proof other than what I experienced. But again, I don't know if it was myself. I myself was ready to leave this earth to go with her. You know what I mean? Like, to keep in context, my daughter was in the hospital for a week, and for that whole week, it felt like I was running a marathon. I barely ate, I barely slept, and I barely drank. Thank God for my family that was there to constantly remind me. But my body, and I'm not the most fit individual in this world, my body was giving up, and so was my soul, seeing my daughter go through what she had to go through. The way that she communicated with me, it's weird, but this is what I felt. I sat down in the chair, and like I said, dealing with exhaustion, emotional, mental, spiritual, all together at once. Every single feeling that a human being can feel, I felt in that week that my daughter was in the hospital. And as I sat down, I felt like my spirit was leaving my body. I felt like my body going back and something going forward, and seeing this very bright light. At that exact moment, my mind's eye, whatever, third eye, I saw my daughter come through here, right here. Like, she floated, boom. And she was like, Daddy, don't worry. Kept saying, Daddy, don't worry. And she had this huge smile. Something that I couldn't even describe. Huge smile. Out of this world. And then I saw her with my two grandparents that passed, and her grandfather that she never got to meet that passed. And she just kept saying, Daddy, don't worry, Daddy, don't worry, I'm okay, don't worry. And when I saw that, it's like, even though I was ready to go, it was like she was telling me, no, I'm good. I have these guys here. It's like they were her bodyguards, you know. Like, as a man, like, that was my reassurance. Those are the people that, you know, I trust the most, right? And she showed me that, and she just kept saying, like, and she was like playing, and she was skipping, just like how, you know, like, it's like she was in this like little playground, and she was skipping, and they were holding her hand, and she's like, don't worry, I'm okay. Like, and keep in mind, this is not something, it's different from seeing physical features. When you're seeing these kind of things, and it's just like energy. They're all energy. They're all pure light, and you can't necessarily see details, but you know it's that person. The only thing I could see really clearly was my daughter, and that's maybe because she was transitioning. Yeah, she just kept saying, Daddy, don't worry, I'm okay. And then at the end of that, she was like, it doesn't matter if you see me or not. I'm always there. And then I knew in my mind that this communication that I was having was not going to last. I think when we pass, and this, you can look up the research. There's a lot of people that have, you know, either had near-death experiences, or, you know, there's a lot of research out there. But what they say is when you pass, it's almost like a portal that opens up, and all your loved ones are there to greet you. We're all a family on this side and on the next. So I felt like everybody, I couldn't even describe it. There were so many people, energy in the room. Everybody that I've ever known that passed, that's in my family, and some that I couldn't even describe. They were all there, ready to welcome her, ready to guide her on the next side. And that's what gave me peace. Of all the research that I've done, all the talks to my moms about spirituality and what happens when we pass, and all the interviews that I've watched about near death, for whatever reason, I don't know why, trying to understand what happens when we die. But it was all for this moment, and I know now it all makes sense. I saw it, and it validated everything for me. That it's all love and light on the other side, and we don't have to worry about our loved ones, because they're good, they're happier, they're better off in the other side. There's no hate, there's no judgment. It's all love and light on the other side. And that's what gave me peace to come back. And I felt it, and it's like, again, there's a lot of research on it. You can even ask some of your, I'm pretty sure people and families have their stories about, you know, people that are about to die, and they start to travel. You know, they start to leave their body, and they start to see say goodbye to everybody, and they start traveling. And that's what my daughter was doing. I knew it. I felt it. I was like, I told the people in the room, I was like, no, she's traveling. She's saying her goodbyes. And again, I cannot explain it, but that's when everybody was saying, especially the ones with kids, oh, they dreamt of Mimi. Oh, even at the daycare, like they woke up, they were asking about her. Oh, I just felt something like they do that. They have this opportunity to go and visit the ones that they love and say their last goodbyes before they need to take care of what they need to take care of on the other side. But I cannot explain it. At that very moment when I said she was around, the next day, that's when everybody was saying, "Oh, we dreamt of her, this and that." They didn't even know about the story that I had. And those are the things that kind of validated for me. Like the last gift that my daughter could give me was that peace. Me not having to worry and wonder, is she okay? Because I know without a doubt she's okay. And it's like I had to come back to spread this message, like especially for those that are dealing with grief and didn't have that opportunity to see what I saw. It's like truly knowing that our loved ones on the other side are great, they're good, and they're watching over us. No matter if we see them or not, they're always there, especially when you call on them. And I feel my daughter all the time. I cannot see it as clearly as I could, but I can feel her presence when I call, especially when I call on her. And I'm pretty sure people feel it, but sometimes we get freaked out or scared, or we just want to write it off as, oh, it's in our head. But no. When you see those things that remind you of your loved one, whatever it is, or you hear a song, or you see something on TV, or whatever it is, that's them sending signs. That's them telling you that they're good, we're here, we got your back, and you don't have to worry so much in this world. I think that's the main gist. Like, and that's now that I've gone through this experience, I have no fear. I have no fear of anything. Because I know in this life it's temporary. Nothing that anybody can do can scare, because I seen it. I stared death in the face. And there's nothing that anyone can do to harm me, because even if I die in this life, I'm not dead. And we shouldn't be living in fear. And we need to stop hating each other. We're all one race, a human race. And we need to spend more time loving each other and understanding and being more compassionate rather than holding hate in our hearts. And that is the message that my daughter wants me to spread, and I feel it in my heart. And I thank you guys for reaching out, because that, if I could even affect one person, I'm doing my job. That's my mission. If there's anything that I need to do here, it's spread more love, spread more light. Just as Jesus said, we go to church, we pray, we do all this stuff, but what did Jesus say? Forgive. And if people harm you, what did Jesus say? Forgive them, for they know not what they do. When people harm you, they don't understand the hurt and the pain that you're going through. But if we learn to forgive and forget, we'll have peace and love and light is the mission on this earth. That is when we know we're doing it right. Thank you.